welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be back.
Today, we're diving into the world of Tintin,
One of my favorites.
but we're going beyond those classic adventures.
Oh, sounds intriguing.
We're analyzing his personality,
I like it. Through what lens?
the Enneagram,
Interesting.
specifically Tintin as a social seven.
Oh, that's a great angle. I'm really curious to see where this goes.
So, for our listeners, we're assuming you're familiar with the Enneagram.
Right. The basics, at least.
Get ready, because we're going to uncover some pretty surprising stuff about Tintin.
I bet. There's always more to discover.
What I think is so fascinating, right? You see Tintin, and he's this classic adventurer.
Yeah, absolutely. Always on the go, solving mysteries.
But when you look at him through this social seven lens,
It's like a whole new layer of his character emerges.
totally. So remind us, for those who might need a refresher,
Yeah, sure.
what are those core social seven traits?
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've got your classic social seven. They're optimistic.
Right.
Always up for something new, like always seeking new experiences.
Yeah, that's Tintin for sure.
And like bursting with creative solutions,
Oh, yeah. He's always got a plan.
And they have this really strong sense of justice.
Right. He always stands up for what's right.
And they're so good at connecting with people.
Okay, so we're seeing all of that in Tintin. But we're going deeper.
Oh, yeah, much deeper. We're not just saying, oh, he's friendly and likes to travel.
Exactly. It's like how these traits drive him.
Exactly. Let's take his optimism.
Okay, yeah, good example.
It's not just, a sunny disposition. It's like a driving force for him.
Right, like a superpower almost.
Totally. Think about Tintin in Tibet.
Oh, such a great one.
I mean, he's facing impossible odds, right? Trying to rescue his friend Chang.
And those mountains, so dangerous.
Yeah, but his belief, never wavers,
It's unshakable.
That's pure social seven, that faith, even when things look bleak.
It's like that optimism fuels him.
Exactly. It keeps him going when others might just give up.
It pushes him forward.
And it's all tied up with that desire for new experiences.
Yeah, he's never staying put for too long.
Every adventure,
Yeah.
every challenge.
Like an opportunity for him.
Right. To learn, to grow, to see more of the world.
And that's basically every Tintin story.
Seriously. He's always on the move.
Never content to just sit back.
He's chasing down the next story, the next mystery.
And when he hits those inevitable obstacles,
Oh, that's where the social seven creativity kicks in.
yeah, he's such a good problem solver.
Think about King Ottokar's scepter.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He's racing against time, right? Trying to stop a coup.
High stakes.
And it's his quick thinking, his ability to adapt.
He's so resourceful.
That's what saves the day.
He's always coming up with these crazy plans.
I know. It's like using a stray dog to deliver a message.
Or building a hot air balloon to escape a fortress.
I mean, come on.
His mind is like a toolbox full of unexpected solutions.
Resourcefulness, that's a social seven strength for sure.
They don't let the rules hold them back.
Right. They see the possibilities, even when others just see limitations.
It's like that outside-the-box thinking.
It's how they overcome those, daunting challenges.
But it's not all gadgets and escapes, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
There's that human connection, too,
Yeah, Tintin builds these strong bonds, right?
with everyone he meets.
I know, even people who seem totally different from him.
It's amazing.
Captain Haddock, right? Professor Calculus.
Even the Thompson twins.
They all become part of his inner circle.
It's like he brings people together.
And that ability to connect with all kinds of people.
It's crucial to his success.
Absolutely.
It's not a lone wolf,
He gets it. He knows the power of collaboration.
Which brings us to another big social seven trait.
Yeah, what's that?
That strong sense of justice.
Right. They're not just out for a good time.
They want to make a difference.
They want to make the world better.
In Tintin, he consistently puts himself on the line.
Doesn't he? For what he believes in.
In The Blue Lotus, exposing those opium smugglers.
So brave.
Or, in The Broken Ear, fighting corruption.
He's always standing up for the underdog.
It's that social seven sense of responsibility.
They can't ignore suffering. They have to act.
They have to fight for what's right.
Even if it means taking risks.
Pretty inspiring when you think about it. It's amazing, right? How he's willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, for those ideals.
It's kind of paradoxical, isn't it?
It is. I mean, social sevens, they're drawn to pleasure, excitement.
Oh, the good stuff.
Right, new experiences.
But then they're also capable of, such selflessness.
Putting themselves in danger for others.
It's like they have this need, deep down, to make the world.
Match their vision.
Yeah. like a positive, joyful world.
And if that means, like, sacrificing something of themselves,
They'll do it.
they're willing to make that trade.
We see it all the time with Tintin.
Oh, yeah. Countless examples.
And Tintin in Tibet, risking everything to save Chang.
Not for fame or anything.
It was purely to help his friend.
And in Tintin and the Picaros,
Oh yeah, joining that revolution.
putting himself right in the line of fire.
To fight against oppression.
It's not just, random acts of bravery.
No, it's deeper than that.
It's like it's ingrained in his social 7 nature,
To make things right.
even if it puts him in danger.
Which brings us to,
Yeah.
this is where it gets interesting. There's this guy, Claudio Naranjo.
You're right. Big name in Enneagram studies.
He talks about this like illusion of the social 7.
This is a good one.
That their sacrifice.
It's not always, like, purely altruistic.
Wait, hold on. Are we saying Tintin's not actually trying to help people?
No, not exactly. It's more, nuance.
Okay, nuance. I like nuance.
Good. Because Naranja's point is that for the social 7 facing the harsh reality.
The bad stuff in the world.
Yeah, the suffering, the injustice, it's really uncomfortable for them.
They don't like that.
So their drive to fix things, to make a better world,
Okay.
it can be a way to avoid that discomfort.
Interesting. So it's like they're trying to bend reality
A little bit, yeah.
to fit their worldview, that optimistic view.
Exactly. It doesn't mean their actions aren't good.
Right. They're still brave. They still want to help.
But it adds, like, another layer of understanding to their motivation.
It makes you think, okay, so how does this actually play out?
In Tintin's stories.
Yeah. Can you give us a specific example of this illusion thing?
Sure. Let's look at the calculus affair.
Okay. Yeah.
Tintin's determination to rescue calculus.
From those spies. Right.
It's heroic, no doubt.
But-
But if we look at it through this Naranjo lens,
Through the illusion.
it's possible that his, like, relentless pursuit
It's also fueled by this need.
to keep his vision of the world intact,
A world where justice always wins.
where good triumphs over evil every time.
So it's not just about calculus,
It's about upholding that ideal.
where Tintin always sets things right.
It makes you think, right?
Yeah. Is it purely good intentions?
Or is there a part of him, maybe unconsciously,
That's trying to avoid a world where things go wrong.
where bad things happen despite his best efforts?
It adds a whole other layer to him.
He becomes more complex,
Less of a, straightforward hero.
more human.
This is why I love these deep dives.
You too. You take something familiar
Like Tintin. We all know him.
and apply a new way of thinking.
Suddenly you see these new layers of meaning.
That's like a whole new perspective.
I'm curious, though.
Yeah.
Does this illusion thing, does it apply to all social 7s?
Or is Tintin like a unique case?
That's a great question. And honestly, to answer it,
We need to look closer at Tintin.
how does this illusion show up in his relationships?
His problem solving, his whole approach to life. Okay, so we've said Tintin, as a social 7, he really wants to create this positive world, right?
A joyful world.
And that sometimes this could be tied to, like, avoiding the bad stuff.
Naranjo's idea.
But how does that play out, in his relationships?
It's interesting, right? Like, think about Captain Haddock.
Oh, yeah. He's a great example. Haddock's so gruff,
Prone to those outbursts.
And let's face it, kind of a pessimist.
But Tintin, he always sees the good in Haddock.
He focuses on the loyalty, the bravery.
And he's so patient with Haddock's less charming qualities.
Right. Always ready with a joke or a smile.
To, smooth things over.
It's like he's trying to keep things harmonious.
Yeah, light and fun.
Even when Haddock's negativity could bring everyone down.
Makes you wonder, though, what happens when Tintin himself
Yeah.
faces those really dark situations?
Oh, good point. Like in The Blue Lotus.
Exactly. When he sees the brutality of that opium
I
trade,
mean, it's horrific.
that's got to be where the illusion, cracks a little.
Maybe. I mean, he can't ignore that suffering.
The injustice of it all.
But he still fights back,
He tries to change things.
to restore that sense of justice to the world.
It's like he's not oblivious to the darkness.
No, but he refuses to let it, consume him.
He takes action. He wants to create a positive outcome.
And that, that's part of what makes the social 7 so...
Resilient.
Exactly. They bounce back from tough stuff.
They find hope, even when things are bad. It makes me wonder, though. This whole maintaining the illusion thing,
Could it be a problem, too?
if you're always focused on the positive,
Yeah, what about that?
do you miss important details?
We'll fail to see the deeper issues.
Because you're trying so hard to keep things.
Light.
Yeah, harmonious.
That's a really good point. And I think, yeah, there's a risk there
Right.
of oversimplifying things
Not wanting to deal with the mess.
to preserve that sense of harmony.
And for Tintin, I mean.
He's in some dangerous situations.
Right. Life or death stuff.
That could have consequences.
But to be fair,
yeah.
Tintin's intuition is usually pretty good.
Right.
He's got a good sense for danger for when people are lying.
And that combined with his,
Resourcefulness.
yeah, and his belief in doing the right thing.
He usually figures it out.
He finds the solution, even if it's a little unusual, a little unorthodox. It's the balance, I guess.
Right.
Social 7 optimism is a good thing.
It can really drive you forward.
But you also need a bit of realism.
A willingness to face the tougher stuff.
That's what makes Tintin so interesting, though.
I agree.
He's not perfect.
Not some flawless hero.
He's got flaws, blind spots.
Like a real person.
But he's trying to do good.
His heart's in the right place.
He wants to make the world better.
More joyful.
And that's, admirable.
It is. Maybe even something we can learn from.
So for everyone listening, we've gone on this deep dive.
Through Tintin's world.
What's the takeaway? What have we learned?
I think we've seen those heroic actions in a new light.
Right. It's not just surface level anymore.
Tintin's optimism, his adventurous spirit, his fight for justice.
It all makes more sense when we understand the social 7. And it makes you think,
About ourselves.
yeah, do we have that same desire? To see the good in the world. To fight for what's right.
Even when it's hard.
Maybe it reminds us that even people who seem super optimistic,
I have their own struggles too.
their own ways of dealing with life's complexities.
It's a good reminder, even in a fictional world.
You have crazy adventures and villains.
There's still that core of human experience.
It resonates with all of us.
And that's what good stories do.
Right. They let us explore different perspectives.
See human nature in a new way.
And maybe learn a little bit about ourselves along the way.
So next time you read Tintin,
Don't just enjoy the ride.
think about what's driving him.
Those inner workings of the social 7.
It adds a whole other level to it.
It really does.
Maybe you'll even find yourself.
Feeling inspired.
Yeah, to be a little more optimistic.
A little more courageous.
Like Tintin.
Ready to make the world a better place.
And with that, we're wrapping up our deep dive into Tintin and the Enneagram.
It's been fun.
We'll be back soon with more to explore. So stay tuned.
Can't wait.
Thanks for joining us.